Hey y'all, this is Moni.
And this is Kat.
Hey Kat. And this is the Fake Ass Book Club. Wait, can we both say it or no?
Guys, welcome back. This is your girl Moni.
And this is Kat.
Hey Kat.
Hey Moni.
What's up, friend?
My uppityness.
Oh wow. So out of scale 1 to 10, scale 1 to 10, where are you normally? Where are you now?
I'm usually like at about a 7, but I've been listening to a lot of Meg Thee Stallion and Beyonce, so I'm at about a 10.
Let's go. All right, as you should. I mean, why not? I like it. Well, guys,
I like that bongo song. It's bouncy.
I feel ashamed. I haven't heard it.
It's catchy. It's not like boundary breaking or anything. It's just a very fun song about butt.
Yeah, I figured that. I mean, I can imagine. I've heard it. You know what I mean? No shade to y'all. Like we
already have so many butt classics.
We do.
You know, we don't necessarily need another one, but hey, here's another one.
And I have something to look forward to.
There
you know what I mean? That's how I look at it. I'll just be pleasantly surprised when I get to hear it. It's like,
yeah, it was. They performed it live at the VMAs. That was a vibe.
I didn't watch,
and I caught it. I saw it on YouTube.
Okay. I might pull it up.
How about you? Where's your uppityness at?
It's kind of low right now. I don't feel super uppity.
Oh,
yeah.
No. Let's see. Maybe by the end of this episode, we can get it up there.
Yeah. Let's work on it. I think I'm probably at about a 4.5 right now, uppityness wise.
4.5.
Yeah, it's kind of low. Kind of low, but that's okay. Ooh. Well, so let's get into it, you guys. So this week we are going to be talking about The Other Black Girl, which is a book by Zakiya Harris. And it's the 2021 novel that was debuted. And it's about the only black woman. She's working in the publishing company. And it's kind of like, I kept reading that it was like Get Out meets, I don't even know. I don't know. What does it mean?
Boredom.
I can't even. It's okay. But so people, oh God, there was like another popular movie though that they kept trying to say that it was compared to. I feel like I read this on Goodreads. It was like these two things kept popping up. I'll find it. But anywho, let's not.
And we're also going to talk about the TV show.
It's on that.
This is not the vibes I was expecting to go into this with. I thought this was going to be a love fest like it usually is. Okay. So, you guys, this is the Hulu show. It was released September 13th, 2023, USA, original network Hulu. Nella, an editorial assistant, is tired of being the only black girl at her company. So, she's excited when Hazel is hired. But as Hazel's star begins to rise, Nella spirals out and discovers something sinister is going on at the company. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh.
And it's hair cream. Spoilers.
Wow. Why don't you just pop their cherries right away, friend? Jeez Louise. No lube. Just stick it in real hard.
It's in the hair cream.
So rude.
It was in it's in the hair cream.
I can't believe you just did this.
I know.
Actually, yes, I can.
Oh.
Yes, I can. You son of a bitch. Yes, I can.
It's very consistent with the pattern of behavior.
It kind of is, though. All right, well, so the series itself was based on an actual book. The Other Black Girl is a 2021 novel by Zakiya Harris. The debut novel follows a woman who is the only black person working at a publishing company. It was sold at auction to... Oh, wait a minute. No, I have to stop right there again. It has none of these all of them it's just that. It's like there's a black girl working at this company. She's the only one. Then another one comes.
That's pretty much what it's about. And then she gets immediately threatened. Immediately.
It was super crazy. Okay. All right. We just have to get into it, you guys. Wait a minute. Let's dedicate it. We're
that part.
Oh my gosh. Hands over your hearts, guys. We are just, you can see we're in shambles. So this week, guys, we want to dedicate this episode, as always, to our patrons. Thank you so much for your continued support. We truly, truly appreciate you. Also, this week, I want to dedicate this to I know this. I want to be appreciative of what's coming up next. So I want to just appreciate this, like late summer, early fall. Actually, technically it's fall now. But this kind of weather, like it always makes me feel a little bit sad, like when summer's ending and it's going into fall. So I just dedicated into the summer. I had a really great summer, and yeah. What about you?
Yes, and it's been absolutely gorgeous and beautiful today. The light, like there's something about the light around the autumnal equinox. It's just gorgeous. So it was yesterday was technically the equinox, but so we're officially in fall.
Right.
I love it. I've been craving a lot of comfort food. But my dedication is going out to, make sure I say it right, Jamila Jamil. She had an interview on Blocks with Neil Brennon that just so got me together this week. I'm probably going to show clips of it because she was on there preaching. So big shout outs to her and all the work she's done in her life, and a side dedication to someone I just learned about, Posey Michelle Tolbert. I hope I'm saying that right. His mural was painted over in Broad Ripple, like just without any kind of warning, and that was really messed up. So I took it upon myself to like look him up and look up the mural so I know what it looked like, and I'm glad that there were photographs of it, and just a reminder, like art matters. Like I feel like it was a very clear message to like, let's make Broad Ripple white again, because it was just replaced with a white wall. So yeah, dedication over.
Yeah, I saw that too, friend. That was kind of crazy. I wonder, I mean, you just pretty much said it. I don't need to beat a dead horse, but yeah, it's sad. But I actually got to see the art too, so at least we got, we have our memories, I guess.
Yeah.
That's kind of messed up.
It is.
All right, man. Well, speaking of whitewashed, so this book was, I don't know, was it what you were expecting, friend? Because honestly, it threw me for a loop. I ain't gonna hold you up.
I was expecting, because two people recommended the show to me, and I was expecting, and then, you see the trailers, and I'm like, ooh, intrigue, yeah. Black girl, da-da. It was... So let me tell you what the experience was, because I didn't finish the book and I didn't finish the show.
Wow!
I showed up fake as hell today on purpose. I had plenty of time. I didn't run out of time. My kids have been great. They aren't wilding. Like, my life has been very peaceful. Had plenty of opportunity. I just shut the deuces because it was diminishing the quality of my life.
Wow.
And I tried listening on double time. It just would never end. So finally, I was just like, I'm ending it. So I went on YouTube and just watched some spoiler filled reviews of it. A lot of it was just kind of like, I think what it was trying to be was like John Grisham meets Black girls. And I don't like John Grisham books. I don't think necessarily they're bad. They're just not for me.
Okay.
So I think it was trying to have that sort of like edge of intrigue where I think you don't even need to add that to the Black experience. It's already pretty unnerving.
I think that is exactly what I was feeling. It was like, I mean, the whole plot is that, you have this super white publishing company. There was one Black editor in the history of its founding. She kind of like mysteriously disappeared or something at some point. But one of the best-selling books that they had, called Burning Heart, was like just a iconic sort of, Black story that a lot of Black, and I guess it kind of crossed over barriers too. Like, it was a wildly popular book. So now, fast forward, a few decades down the line, you have Nella, who's working at this publishing company. She's the only Black girl. And she's been there for like maybe 2 years as a low-level, mid-level assistant. She wants to be an editor. She's super inspired by this old Black editor.
She wants to be an assistant editor.
I know.
Like, she's like Dwight. She's dreaming of being like assistant manager.
Yeah, so I mean, she's dreaming hard. And then we have this other Black girl, and like, to me, Hazel, and that's a relatable experience. And so they kind of hit it off instantly, but the first chance the girl gets, she throws her under the bus. Because there's this,
I wouldn't even say she threw her
in
under
the book.
Bus.
She literally throws her under the bus. Yeah, like in the book. Okay. So it is a little bit different. So
Okay.
Yeah, it was a little bit different.
Wait a minute, though. Like, what are we talking about? The same thing where she didn't agree with her in the meeting?
It was actually
Keep in mind, I skipped when I
know.
started the first chapter of the book. I got immediately bored and skipped to chapter 13, and so and still couldn't get through it.
Yowza.
But like,
yeah, I don't know.
the thing that she referenced that she confronted her at the poetry reading or whatever was like, why didn't you back me up about Colin's book?
Yeah, because there was Chartrisha. There was
was
like a super,
racist, stereotypical,
black
and she
character.
was just like, I just disagree with you. I ended up liking the book. And it's like, she doesn't have to agree with you on everything just because she's the other black girl.
Right. So the movie,
I thought that was unreasonable.
not the movie, but the series was like that. And the book, it was more like, you should say something, I'll back you up. And then when she did say something, she didn't. She literally threw her under the bus in the book. So yeah, in the movie in the series, they did make it a little bit more like
that happened on Black AF.
it did. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Kenya was his character was supposed to be it was a whole thing where they're gonna approach this one director about, man, like, your movies suck.
And then it got up there and it was like,
and on a panel, and then the other director was like, no, I think what you're doing for the culture is great. And Kenya just looked like,
he's like, so I'm the asshole. Cool.
okay.
So it was kinda
well,
like
then
that.
that's different, because I really tried to watch the show, and it was just weirdly triggering. It wasn't enjoyable enough for the trauma.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so overall what ends up happening is, like, she spoiled it, right? It's this hair grease or whatever, but like, come to find out, which listen, you can't let me be in charge of
they cloned
this.
Tyrone.
That's how I felt.
Did you watch
I did. So let's pause there because you're giving me too much. I'm overstimulated, friend.
Sorry.
I'm trying to stay on track.
I'm
okay,
sorry. That's my bad. Let me.
So
take
I
a
was
sip.
trying to do the beat by beat. So basically, the other black girl. So, I mean, they're, like you say, it was instant kind of like this rivalry. She's feeling like she has to compete with this girl, kind of. But then it's like she's nice to her, but she's not sure what it was. It was a little bit confusing. But come to find out, this the author and the guy who actually runs the whole book company are having an affair and have been for years. And basically, like, their whole plot is to, I don't know what you want to call this. Like, it's like a cult kind of black women that, like, they're supposed to be. Like, Hazel is actually, I forget what her real name is supposed to be, but she's like
Ava,
and she's like an agent. So she goes from city to city to find like the most fancy, uppity black girls
like
they can find. It was like a
super long black lady sketch show sketch,
but it was like not good though. You know what I'm saying? Like, and because I usually do.
It was called The Other Black Girls. Like, that was the whole society, just called The Other Black Girls. I'm sorry, I don't want to step on your beat.
No, I mean, I'm happy with you to come in to help, because at some point I don't even know what to say. It was just super weird.
Because that's their mission, to go into like white organizations and make the black women more docile with this hair cream,
while also making their dreams come true.
It was a little convoluted.
Like you said, like the intrigue part that they were trying to add to it just felt super unnecessary. And it was.
So who was writing those fucking letters? That's the only thing. Like, who was actually writing those?
Well, that one girl. So I think once you stop using that cream, because it like somehow stops like your memory and stuff, like you start seeing them use the cream and stuff like that. So it was one of the girls who got tricked before in another city. She was trying to let her know this girl's name is not Hazel.
Oh, that's right.
She's
They were trying to get her to
dangerous.
leave the company because they wanted to recruit her. That's what it
basically
was. Okay, actually, I think I did know that and forgot.
Yeah. So basically, she was just trying to let her know, like, hey, you need to leave because they're really trying to, like, you're going to lose your mind. You're going to forget who you are and stuff like that. And that's basically what happened to the editor of that original book that made the company popular to begin with.
Because wasn't she sleeping with the boss too? Like, wasn't she sleeping with Richard?
So yeah, the author was booed up with Richard.
Burning Heart.
Yeah, of Burning Heart. But her best friend Kendra, she was the editor of the book, and she's the one who had disappeared. And nobody had really seen what happened, And she's the one that toward the end ends up, girl, I was like, first of all, the little rescue mission scene, I was like, y'all know y'all were fucking wrong for this right now. Like, at the end,
What?
So, like,
So I couldn't bring myself to watch it because when I was watching the spoiler, I couldn't even finish watching the reviews about it because I was just like, this is creepy. I don't like
It wasn't creepy though. Like I was waiting for the creepy part. Like, I mean, obviously hair grease making you into a cult, you know, like, I don't know, like that's weird and creepy, but it just was like this music, it was just so unnecessary. Like you said, the content, I love the idea of the other black girl just because it's such a relatable experience in corporate America in a lot of spaces where you're the only, right? And so, like you said, that experience is already, so there's already so much to pull from. Like, why try to add this sci-fi thriller, like,
but
it's not though. I was waiting for it. I'm just like, so these are just some weird bitches with some purple hair grease, and quit calling it hair grease because who does that? I don't use motor oil in my hair. Like, it's oil.
Call it oil
lotion
or cream
or something. We're not.
We're not calling it grease.
We're not
anymore.
doing that.
This isn't ultra chic.
Bougie level.
Like, we're not doing
now.
that anymore.
Yeah, I just leveled up. Like, I just got my hearts. Yeah, like
uppy level.
Yeah, because
we ain't calling it
we're
grease.
not doing
that.
that.
That's over. We're off that. I really feel bad because I was hoping this episode is going to be about uplifting a female black author.
Well, I want to uplift her because you tried and you got your book out. You got the dollars to get it put on Hulu.
Yeah,
so congratulations.
I never wrote a
to
book.
You. Me either. And mine, I mean, here's the
I have
notes.
nothing optioned for Hulu.
I have nothing. And I think that it's encouraging to see them taking these stories and you know, Rashida Jones, I think she was partnering with the author to bring this to the screen and stuff like that. And so, yeah, like I love the idea of uplifting the stories, but I mean, I just gotta be honest, it just didn't hit like it could have, and it had so much potential to do so because it was kind of silly at times, and then it was like pseudo suspenseful, and then it was just like dumb. Like, I was like, what the fuck is this? It was just,
well,
and I didn't love the character. I didn't love Nella.
I was about
she
to
was
say,
not
like,
compelling.
Nella, I didn't feel, you know what I felt like it was trying to voice? Remember when we read Such a Fun Age?
Oh, yeah.
And how good the pacing was in that book. And even though she was much younger than us, you could still kind of go into the mindset of what it must be like to be a young person now. And even if she was making mistakes, it was really relatable. Like, she really wasn't like, but Nella was just on some like bullshit. Like, so you're mad at her because she's being more successful than you in this environment. She's absolutely right. You do have to play these games in corporate America. If you don't want to do that, leave. I did. It's nerve-wracking, but you can do it.
And she wasn't built for it. You could tell she was so naive.
Exactly.
Like, the fact that, like, you know, like, girl, I don't even know where to start. Between her best friend and then the boyfriend. Did you even see any of them?
She had a white boyfriend.
She did.
I think all you need to do to get something made on Hulu is just have a black girl with a white boyfriend. So that's our next project. We're gonna do a spec script,
and you'll be the one.
It's gonna be called Black Girl, White Man, but the logo is gonna look like the White House Black Market, like that clothing store.
Oh God.
Boom. And it's already made. Listen,
wow.
We already know nothing has to happen.
Nothing happened.
As long as we got some outfits in there, because also the fashion wasn't hitting. Like, a lot of times something will keep me engaged just because the fashion is so intriguing. It's like because it looks nice. There wasn't even that.
No.
I will say there was now I did have some good stuff.
Yeah,
it wasn't all bad. It was just the overall the framework was shaky.
It was extremely shaky. Yeah.
It was shaky, but I did like when they went to that. Was it a spoken word or whatever she was doing with them kids? Hazel.
Oh yeah, she had a non-for-profit type thing, poetry thing.
Yeah, at her friend Juanita's beauty shop or whatever, and that scene to me was actually was pretty much the only part of the book I really read.
Okay.
And paid attention to, but that part was written really well. I felt I was in that room. And especially when she was writing about how irritated she was with Owen for looking at Hazel, where he was just like, what's your problem with her? She seems cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, and he was like, oh, the locks are, you know what I mean? Like when she was remembering back when he asked her, like, how have you ever thought about locking your hair? It like looks really sexy. And I was like, yeah, that irritated me. Then I was like, okay, I was on Nella's side for that one.
Mm-hmm.
That was irritating as hell. Like, how are you going to talk about this bitch at my job that I told you I don't like? And it's like, you're supposed to be here backing me up, even if I'm being a little irrational right now.
Yeah, it was.
And she was tripping hard. Like, that wasn't even the time or place to have that conversation either. Like, if you did have a problem.
Girl, like, women wait for that. Like, women wait for the perfect time to talk about that shit. You know, you be like, ooh, I ain't gonna say nothing. And you be like, you know what?
Okay, this was the thing. Okay, so when I first started reading the book before I gave up on it, there was a reference to Kindred, like, and that made me happy. I was like, ooh, Kindred, that was a good book. And then there was the quote, Black history is Black horror. And that's the thing, too. You thought it was setting you up for, like, a horror story. Like, it was going to be, like, maybe Lovecraft Country or something. It made me really want to watch Lovecraft Country because there's someone who executed that really, really well. So those are my positive things. Like, it wasn't all bad. But
okay.
What?
No, and it wasn't all bad. I'm glad you're saying that because, you know, I don't like that. I don't like to just shit on people's art or anything like that. But I kept reading that it's Get Out meets Stepford Wives. And I was like,
no, it's not.
That's what that's probably why I forgot it, because I'm like, I'm not getting that. I don't know if it's because the other Black girls were all like, I don't know.
You know what it was? When I said the framework was shaky, the world building was weak.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to be so outlandish like Lovecraft Country, or you need to make this believable, because that doesn't really make sense for anybody. Like, an organization to make Black women more docile. Like,
well, was it docile though? Was it?
Yeah, I feel like the hair cream was supposed to just make you more able to accept the
bullshit,
like white culture. Yeah, the bullshit better. Which is
so that they could, but the other side of that was like, well, now you're the very first Supreme Court justice, or now you're the very first Black blah blah blah. Like, I think it was just maybe like you were saying, like, when you're in corporate America, I think a lot of the time Black women, or just people in general, like, it can be hard. Like, that paycheck that you're getting, you know, it's either for you to, the paycheck is for you to forget about your dreams, and or to help you accept the bullshit, you know, like, just to help you accept that bullshit. And so sometimes these titles is what does it, you know, because most everybody has a selling out point.
Sure.
I mean, like, what's your number? You know what I'm saying? So, I think maybe it was just trying to speak to that, because it's kind of like, instead of trying to fight the fight and bring up these issues, it's like, why are you so hung up on the pain and the misery? Like, let's just play the game. Like, let's get in here. We don't have to everything. Get this money, and at least we're putting Black women in positions in these companies, and we're recruiting more to be in there and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so it was kind of like
the thing. Like, Hazel was supposed to be the sinister, like, villain, where I was like, I don't know, she's making some good points.
I felt like I could whoop her ass too, because I was just kind of like, she's tiny. Like, there's no way she would have been able to bust me up beside my head.
Actress too. She was in Riverdale and Romy and Somebody Rob a Train.
She's adorable.
Like, she's been in a lot of Netflix projects.
Okay. Yeah,
and she's a very good actress. I actually kind of wish it was, I guess that's my biggest problem. I didn't really like the main character. I couldn't really relate to like how she was handling stuff. Like, I couldn't really feel sorry for her. It's like, girl, this is life you chosen. You either play the game or get out.
Yeah, it was very much, it was just weird.
Not to say you got to use this hair cream. Like, she just didn't seem like a real person.
Yeah, she wasn't relatable. I wasn't quite there. Now, I will say in the book though, they do give you more of like her background, being in parochial school and growing up in a white neighborhood, and like not being poor. Like you relate to being, you know, you relate to the Black experience because you're Black, but then it's like, it's not the same. Like your mom was on wealth, you know what I mean? Like that caricature type story, you know, she was like, I mean, my parents bought me a car. Yeah, it was like, it was given regular. So I think we were supposed to look at her like, just an, you know, like she had
every woman.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Yeah, just like in the John Grisham novel where the regular guy is suddenly set on an adventure of a lifetime.
Yeah.
It's like full of intrigue and stuff, and it's like, nah, it doesn't really take off that. The Office, and I didn't really like being in that environment. Like, a lot of stuff is escapism.
I know being in publishing was awful. That's how I felt too. I was like, I hate it here. If this is really how it is.
Yeah, I was like, and like I said, usually when there's the publishing like genre stuff, like The Devil Wears Prada, like I said, there's usually more fashion.
That's with the other thing. People kept saying, like, it's like, oh, the devil wears, and everybody's like, absolutely not. If you're going to this expecting Devil Wears Prada, please, this is not it.
It's
or
not
get
funny
out,
and there's no fashion.
or get out. You're not getting any of that.
That tension, it doesn't.
But see, that's not her fault.
To be too much.
That's right. I think so too. That's not her fault that like people are using those two movies, and I think that's why the comparison thing is messed up, because when you say that, you're expecting something, and then it just falls short of that.
So wait, how does it end? Does she still end up? What ends up happening?
I didn't finish the book. I don't even fucking know. But in the
I thought you said you finished.
Not the book. I finished the series because I was like, there's no way I could finish the book. There's just no way. And there's no way that
I would have finished it. I had an hour and like 3 minutes left. I could have pulled it out.
I didn't finish the book. I knew I wasn't going to, so I was like, let me get on this Hulu series. But the last Hulu series episode, she pretended like she put the hair crack on her head and came in with a lace front and had on like a face full of makeup and was like, let's do this, So everybody's like, oh, she's on board. So it was giving there might be a second series though, like, because there's no way that's how the actual book ends, which is terrible. Maybe I should look up how the book ends. This is a fake ass.
Actually, I think that is how the book ends though.
I have no idea.
I feel like when I was looking for the spoilers, because I was on YouTube looking for reviews of the book, because the books came out a couple years ago, and I feel like that is kind of, because that's what people were saying too. Like I didn't really find any positive reviews, so that kind of discouraged me from finishing too, where I was like, yeah, I had a feeling I wasn't really gonna enjoy this. But yeah, I think she just ends up complying, and that was kind of the end.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, I'm assimilated. I'm fully assimilated. But now here's the thing in the series. She says she makes a phone call and she's like, I'm in.
Oh, so she's undercover.
Yeah,
now?
It's like, okay. I think she wants them to think that she's assimilating herself to the plan, because then they show her best friend and the old editor Kendra in a car. The best friend tased that it would be like the Jason Lee, not even Jason Lee, he's more like Hollywood Unlocked, but who's the Charlemagne of, somebody that just calls out, like they're always talking about, like Donkey of the Day type shit, like on, he was
like Howard Stern?
Yeah, but the black one, like a black one. Okay, who does that? Charlemagne? Yeah, so Charlemagne. He was like that, like he was somebody that was like, they were trying to get him to, get a book deal through, Nella really wanted him to write that book.
Right, James.
Yeah.
Was it James?
I don't know. I'm just going to say, yeah, girl. I'm saying yes and. Don't matter.
A Jane name or something. I remember what she was saying, because she was real hype. I do remember that part, because she was real hype about possibly editing his book. But then she was worried Hazel might get it, which wasn't fair, because Hazel just got here.
Well, he was like, he wasn't going to do it. She was trying to she was trying to get him to do a book, but he was like, I'm not going to sell out. Like, I'm not going to be a sellout. Like, I have principles. Your publishing company basically, because the book ended up going out like before there was a sensitivity read. There was supposed to be a sensitivity read after she had called out that character, and then somebody leaked it, which I'm sure it was the other girls probably leaked it or whatever. And so then it was like they were getting canceled. So after that, she went to that guy to ask him, like, you should write you could basically write your own ticket at here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we basically would just, so it was like her job to try to get him to come there and write a book and talk about stuff. And he was like, I'm not doing that. Your company basically just, you know what I'm saying, have racist.
Just released a blackface cover.
Yeah, and then he was like, absolutely not. But then Hazel's Dominican boyfriend gave him a haircut at the barbershop because he would put grease on people's scalps as well, apparently. And he did it to that guy. And then he all of a sudden was like, oh yeah, I'll sign the book deal. Like, I'll now be a part of this book deal. And so it was just crazy, man. They had her at the end, like at this whole ceremony where they were supposed to be celebrating her and the re-release of the book Burning Heart after 35 years.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be a different ending. Like in the book, I guess it was a happy ending. And that was kind of like the contention between Kendra and the author initially, because she was like, no, we have to just change it so people buy the books. And Kendra was like, no, like I think it was like a murder, like the domestic violence, like the girl died at the end, and she was like, that's real life, like that's the shit that happens.
Yeah, that's how that shit goes down.
Yeah, and so Nella was trying to get it to where they re-released the actual ending that happened, in the 35th anniversary of the book. And then it was just crazy. It ended up making her look crazy at this event. Like, she looked like everybody's looking at her like, what's going on, Nella? Like, you're freaking out. And she's like, oh, I'm the crazy one like Kendra. And then they end up like having her in some kind of a garage, like tied to a chair. And then
I saw that part.
Garcelle Bouvier was like in her face and stuff, and they were gonna like hold her down and put the grease on. And then here comes Kendra with a taser and like slowly tases everybody. Like, slowly, like they could have.
You know what this is giving?
I was like,
this is giving Tyler Perry.
It kind of was. It was a little bit.
Yeah.
Like just plot holes and just, and again, it's different from the book, so I'm sure they had to do some workarounds to make it, adapted to the screen. But I had a headache. You're right. It was really hard to get through. I thought, oh my God.
You know who I feel sorry for?
No.
I feel sorry for the white people who worked on this project and didn't feel comfortable pointing out like this wasn't that great.
I don't. So fucking what? How about that? I don't care.
Because, I mean, it'd be kind of weird and be like, okay, but like...
Yeah, welcome. That's what I would say. You get a t-shirt when that finally happens to you. It's like, yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe this is a good sign that we're finally getting mediocre work, and like not everything has to be excellent. Like usually black people have everything we do that gets made has to be like stellar.
Yeah.
Whereas like all this very mediocre white content is constantly churned through the mill.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, hey, good
but
for
is that
you,
a
girl.
good or bad thing? Like, I'd prefer good art to bad art.
I mean, I think that you can't have one without the other. Like, we don't get to pick.
Sure.
It's all going to be subjective. It's all there. It all exists. And I mean, like, if it's there and you see it, you're going to take it for whatever it is. So I don't think there's any way to avoid the bad part, but it's part of the experience. And so that's why I'm like, what? I ain't mad
I would
at you,
say
girl.
if someone tells you to watch this, just watch Lovecraft Country instead and just tell them like, yeah, I'll watch it. Listen to our interview, get some talking points, and then anything that you can't, like they ask you that you can't answer, just be like, I must have fell asleep for that part.
Wow.
And just fake your way through these conversations, people.
That's what we did.
It's the only way to live.
It's what we did basically just now. Okay. 'Cause
yeah.
Yeah,
just save your time. I would recommend this. If you like John Grisham stuff, go for it.
Yeah.
If you like John Grisham, to me, it's a combination of John Grisham and Tyler Perry.
It's not the worst thing I've ever seen though, but it was funny because
Which is true. Like,
yeah, it wasn't the worst thing.
entertaining.
It just was like, I just didn't need to see it though. It was just like, I wish that she just would have stuck with the idea and let it just be a regular story. I think it would have just been more compelling. Like, the narrative itself could have been interesting enough. Like, it could have been more character driven. It didn't need all that fantastical whatever. And I hate that, like, if she felt pressured to do that, I mean, maybe not. Maybe that's just the kind of story that she likes, so she was trying to do that. But it just ended up falling a little bit flat for me. So
I will say it is very difficult managing your hair in corporate environments. I feel like, addressing that is always important. I see it because of my algorithm. I see a lot of stories around the country about people who have a difficult time at school or at work because of their natural hair, like showing up as, not assimilating to make, the dominant, what we're calling white culture, more comfortable. That doesn't make your life harder.
mm-hmm.
And it can be impossible. I remember asking my parents, because, you look back at pictures and I'm like, everybody had afros. But, you know, when I was born and I'm looking around and it's all perms and jerry curls, I'm like, what happened to the afros? And it was like, you cannot get a job with an afro.
And because it was political too,
yeah.
you know, at the time. I mean, like, our hair is just politicized and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many wonderful and relevant talking points about that particular experience, and it's so real. But in the book especially too, it just felt like the characters felt a little underdeveloped, and then it was like they didn't sound like people I'd actually be talking to ever. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, who are these ladies? Like, I'm trying to understand.
Especially not in corporate environments. Like, you'd be so dead to this already.
Yeah, it's like, girl.
Like, by the time you've been here long enough, you've been like, oh yeah, you know how this is. And if like someone came in and was just being more, because I really don't know what Hazel did other than just, okay, there's that cream, but like, what did she do other than just being more charismatic? Because that does help you a lot in business.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, because what does it matter? Like, if we're getting the books published, like, you're gonna have to bullshit anyway. It's like, what, are you keeping it 100% all the time? Absolutely
Nobody.
not.
You can't.
Like you said, you came up with little lies to get out of conversations with coworkers to spare their feelings. Like, you're already being fake, so just don't be mad at me because my fakeness is turned up.
Yeah, it's like, I'm willing to go the extra mile with this right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know.
But
To me,
see,
it
and
was,
I do think that could have been an interesting way for her to explore that narrative, though, because, you know, there is a thing when you are the only black person. Sometimes you get, I mean, it's annoying, but then like you get used to that. So then when there is another black person, you instantly are threatened because you feel like there's only room for one of us. You know what I mean?
I'm not special anymore.
Yeah.
I was the chosen one. I was El Uno.
The go-to Negro.
They were like, you're not like black Nella.
Yeah.
You're not like other black people. You're like, yeah, you did what others couldn't. You're so strong.
That part.
And it's like, yeah. And it's like, well, now if there's just a bunch of black people, I'm not, because I think this is true in a lot of arenas, not just corporate or whatever, especially for black people in America. We measure success by what white people have. Like, we was like, oh, I will be successful when I have reached the level of whiteness or what white people are doing. And it's like, that's not a healthy metric. Like, and then, like I said, if you have another black person coming in and now it's like, oh wait, there's a bunch of excellent black people, I'm like, well, what am I measuring? Right. I don't even know what my metrics are anymore. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so
I agree.
Yeah, I think that I don't know, man. It just could have been. There was so much potential there. I didn't love it.
And the new black girl doesn't have to be your friend.
No.
Like, I remember when I was in elementary school, there was the other black girl, and we weren't best friends. Like, we weren't, like, you're not going to automatically click just because you're a black girl.
Right.
Like, it wasn't anything wrong with her. I didn't hate her. She didn't hate me. We just weren't buddies.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I know specifically, like, if I'm in a space where I know there's not a lot of people of color, I always leave the door open for that friendliness, because you know what it feels like to be in a space like that. But also, I'm not upset or mad if we don't genuinely click. You know what I'm saying? Like, just so happens it had, you know, it's like, oh, okay, she's cool and we vibe or whatever. But if we don't, that's fine. Like you say, I don't expect you to, you know, you don't owe me anything because you're black. Like, that's already kind of fucked up too, because then it's like, not only do I have to come in here and tap dance on sand for these white folks, now I have to be your best friend. Like, what the hell?
Right.
You know, that's
it's
a lot
like,
of pressure.
That's way too much emotional work.
It just is. So
that I think we're just expected to do all the time. So, man, I wish I had better things to say about this book.
I know. You know what, though?
And show.
Yeah, same. And I mean, my husband was kind of watching part of it with me, and every time one episode would stop, we would just look at each other, and he'd just have this smirk on his face. I'm like, please just don't say nothing. Like, I don't want to hear this. He was like,
We had to turn it off at the shop. It was just, who is this for?
I don't know. I was like mostly just confused. It was like yeah. I don't even have the words.
It was a stifled sneeze.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like because a good sneeze is like, yes, it's such a release, and it was just kind of like, I never got there.
I'll tell you a good show I did watch instead when I turned this off, Formation.
So this is Kat breaking in really quick with a correction. It's not Formation, it's Foundation. Sorry about that.
I think I was talking about this on the last episode. I've been watching that on Apple TV. It's based on an Isaac Asimov novel, and it has a black female protagonist.
Okay.
And I mean, it's not perfect, but it's at least entertaining, and the fashion is amazing, and so are the hair stories. So, at least there's that to look at, and it takes place in outer space.
Oh,
so
gosh,
it's already
you're
got
biased
that going
with that
for
one,
it.
yeah. Outer space. Because
I
for
am.
some
I'm not
people,
I'm
they're
not
like,
into it.
I don't want outer space. Thank you.
I think people are scared of space because it makes them feel insignificant, but I'm not afraid of my insignificance.
Well, and I think also some people aren't even really thinking about it like that. I think, like, for me, I mean, because I don't mind outer space, but sometimes I just instantly go into, like, I don't feel like doing this with y'all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all about to be doing too fucking much. Like, please. Can we not?
There's, like, space lasers.
I'm like, Jesus. No. Like, I don't feel like doing all
robots,
that right now. But,
and time travel.
Yeah, but I mean, and that's from
and
somebody.
large-scale mathematic models.
That's in every
Prime
sci-fi
Radiant.
movie? That's in...
I'm just talking about Formation.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, I've never been like, oh God, I don't want to see that. I don't even know what that is, but okay. But yeah, so mostly to each his own. I just feel like this was not for me. Maybe y'all can let us know what you thought about it. If you've seen it, I'd love to start that conversation. Let us know, shout us out.
If we're wrong.
Yeah.
And for everyone who
there could be
recommended
no
it to
wrong.
me, you were wrong.
Yeah, like I just didn't like it. If you like it, congrats. I'd love to hear why.
You probably just thought I'd like it because I'm black. You're racist.
Ooh, hot take.
Ooh.
All right. Well, maybe we should just take a quick break then, friend, because I feel like,
I agree.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hold tight. All right, guys. So welcome back from the break. Wow. What a...
Wow.
Ow.
We had a lot to say this episode, and it's just bound to happen. Like, you said it best. Like, just because it's another black girl doesn't mean we have to like it.
It's so true. And it is a little disappointing when you don't, but it's okay.
It's fine. And once again, bravo to her success. Like I said, you got a book published and you got a deal with Hulu.
Yeah, you did.
And that you're probably going to turn that into a lot more success. And that's what I love to see.
Yeah.
So
Shout out.
that happened in real life.
Did. So, yeah, you're damn right. I love it.
Keep going. And I feel like there's enough people who enjoyed this that, we don't have to.
It's true. It's definitely true. So, I guess it's time to rate the book, friend. I mean, I feel like we've talked about it at length, but
I'm not allowed to rate it. I didn't finish it.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Okay.
I want to call it hair grease. I'm gonna give it 3.5 bottles of purple hair grease. Out of 5. Because again,
because that'd be different if it was out of 10.
Yeah, that'd be bad. But I feel like I'm pretty generous as a reviewer at this point anyway. Like, it's like 5.
You
so
are.
just 5 because mostly I had a good time talking about it, so you get extra points for that. But for this, I think it was a solid. Like I said, I love the subject matter. I like the idea of exploring that narrative of the other black girl. However, it did fall short for me. So yeah, 3.5.
Okay, guys, you heard it. That's Moni, and she's the only one who's allowed to review it because I knew that fully. I gave up. For people who know this about Kat, Kat loves giving up.
Especially when it's something she hates.
That's why I'm so happy. I quit stuff that makes me miserable.
Yeah, as you should, man. It's like, you know what? This is bad.
This is bad.
All right, so then I think we should probably spin the wheel and see what we got coming up this next week. So spin it.
Ooh.
cute. Okay. Now, this is a book that you mentioned before, Kat, The Fault in Our Stars, a novel by John Green.
He's a local. He's from Indiana.
Is he?
Yes, he's like in Noblesville.
Oh.
Like he and his brother, like they're the vlog
Why do you know this?
He's like famous.
Okay.
For real, like they used to do, him and his brother, I don't want to get it wrong. Is it Hank Green? I don't want to get the name wrong.
I feel like this is something Nella would know about.
Probably.
Because I don't know what you're talking about.
Or at least Hazel. Let me look it up real quick. John Green's brother. Hank, I was right. I shouldn't have doubted myself. Where did my confidence go? I was so uppity at the beginning of this episode.
So true.
And now here I am second guessing myself. I need to harness my white guy confidence and just say it with authority. John and Hank Green, the Vlog brothers. They're just so positive and fun, and they are famous. I'll have more fun facts when we talk about The Fault in Our Stars. I look forward to reading it again. I read it back in the day.
Okay.
But I want to read it again because after this episode, I'd like to read a good
So
book.
basically what you're saying is you need a white man to cheer you up.
I do.
Wow.
I
You heard it
do.
here first, guys.
Like, yeah.
It's a damn
Yeah.
shame. No.
Yeah. Thanks to the white man.
No, this is exciting though, because I know that this book, I've heard that this book was good. I know that it got turned into a movie, or was it a series?
Yes.
A
It was
film, and
it was a feature film. It was in
okay,
theaters.
yeah, so
And it takes place in Indiana. Like they go to North Central.
okay, cool. All right, well that should be fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to read this, and I think it's a really dope way to kick off Banned Book Month. You know, we are wild supporters of banned books here at the Fake Ass Book Club. So this is gonna give us a lot to talk about. So I actually can't wait to get into it. It should be fun.
It should be. It touches on some really great themes that I think young adults could handle. Doesn't need to be in the adult section. And because it's going to be Banned Book Week, like I'm really excited to talk about all the other banned books and why people do
I know,
this.
right?
And the fact that they're even trying. One of the mayors in one of these little backwater towns is trying to burn books.
It's like,
And
this
it's like, yeah.
place is ghetto.
And there's some famous quote where it's like, if you burn books, you'll burn people.
I mean, that's the next step, basically. You throw
That
them on the
is.
books.
It's like, just chill out. It's like, stop. And at the end of the day, you're just giving them free promotion. Like, chill out.
Wow. Well, I agree with you. It's just stupid. It's always a really, there's so many different things, so many different aspects of the banned books that you can get into. So that's why it's such a compelling topic. So I am really excited to get into it and chop it on up with you guys about that. I feel like I wanted to mention really quick, I wanted to ask you, this could be like our Stranger Than Fiction story.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, Kat, did you hear about the Texas teen that was banned from high school from attending his graduation from refusing to cut his hair?
I did. Like, it was like a couple days before the Crown Act was passed.
Yes.
Yeah, I did see that.
How did that make you feel? This made me think about, our episode because, we talked about how black hair is a whole thing in corporate America. And
it is. It's viewed very negatively. Like, why are you, like, threatening me with your afro hair? I've always felt sort of a way when given notes about, like, from white people about what black people are supposed to look like, period, let alone our hair. Like, it's just so the nerve, like the absolute gall of, like, your physical appearance isn't pleasing to me, change it. Like, anybody else could go up to any other person and say that, just how insulting that is. Because it's not like everybody is like 10s across the board. Like, you could totally, you know what I mean? Like, but you want to run fashion police on me. Some of the tackiest people I've ever seen in my life.
Girl, don't make me throw this
Some
mic,
of the
okay?
ugliest,
across the floor.
Yeah, like, I'm like, are we giving style notes?
Please.
Because really, first off, let's talk about how sickening locks are. Like, well, how is this playing into graduation or sports or anything else other than you don't like it? That's not a good enough reason for anything to stop.
Did you see his hair? It was so neatly coiffed. Like, I've never seen locks so well tended to in all my life. He literally had the freshest lineup. They were pulled back into braids. They're not even down. In fact, from August until May, he keeps his hair up on purpose because I don't think you can have hair that comes past your ears or eyebrows or something. So it's up and back and like put up and neat. So like the note is that like, you know, their policy is that, you know, it's just, you know, it's our dress code and we want to make sure that everybody's showing up, you know, professional and like clean and hygiene. Like they're making it like a hygiene issue. Like basically we're saying you're fucking gross because you have hair that is, I don't know what it's doing basically. I don't get this. And it's not a buzz cut or some bayangs and we don't like it. So
This also reminds me a lot of the First Nations people who talk about being shipped to those boarding schools, and one of the first things they did was shave their heads. And hair is weird, man. You know, like I deal a lot with hair, and there's just something about it, but it's also so deeply personal. So the idea that I'm not going to have educational and vocational options because it's, you know, basically you're just too black. Like just do something that makes me comfortable.
And this is the assimilation part, you know what I'm saying? And I think about the mental like health of a child who's being basically told that they're, you know, like there's something wrong with you or you don't have access to education now because, you know, your hair is a distraction or it's not whatever. Would you be sending your son to this school still? Like if he's in in-school suspension because of his hair?
No, I would be, they would have to deal with me every day at that school. They would be so sick of, no, like that. To me, it's already just, it's going to be a trauma. As someone who's racially traumatized in my environment, like that's the reason why now I can't like have a regular job. I can't be around these people all the time. Like everything's triggering. And it's like, it really wears on your endocrine system. Like I have to really worry about like my physical health because this racism is killing me inside.
That's not funny, but
not even slowly anymore, like aggressively and quickly.
But my heart goes out to their family and to that kid basically.
Here's the other thing I wanted to
my heart can't go out to him. We have to go.
No.
It's okay, guys, pause. Hold on, guys.
Back to the book though.
Let's get back to what Kat was saying.
No, it's the book, because when she was talking about that hair cream and like how it was affecting people or whatever, it was always kind of like a metaphor for relaxers. Like I think a lot of, if you're one of our white listeners, you might not even know what chemical relaxers are. It's what white people, or it's what black people are talking about. When we talk about a perm, we don't get permanent curls, we get permanent relaxers, which straighten the hair. And it turns out they cause fibroids and uterine cancer. For real, in real life. Like, I don't think that can be said enough. And if you've been diagnosed with that and you got relaxers, even if you're not getting them now, you're entitled to money. Like all of these companies who are making like these products, like Just For Me and L'Oreal, they're having to pay like class action lawsuits to women who were getting these. It wouldn't even just be black women. Lots of people have textured hair and get chemical hair straighteners, and it disrupts your hormonal balance and causes cancer and fibroids, maybe breast cancer. They couldn't find a direct link to breast cancer, but it doesn't look great for that either.
It's messed up.
So sorry, I didn't want to forget to say that. Like that's an actual direct, clear and present danger to black women just to look acceptable.
Just to go to work. I have to have cancer to go to work. I have to risk my health.
And fibroids.
Yeah, and not to mention just the stress of it. So yeah, I mean, I feel bad for their family and anybody that, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're facing any of that kind of stuff, especially when it's like, hey, we're not going to let you graduate. We're not going to let you walk, or you have to cut your hair in order to do these things. Like it's just gross. But this to me also this is why like these conversations have to happen, because, you know, when we are looking looking at the lens just through the European like scope, I don't think that they feel like it's wrong, because to them it's like, no, it has to be, and that can't just be the only lens thing. Not everything goes through that. Like not everybody's having the same experience as you, and you're
not the top of this pyramid.
There is no pyramid, like right? Like there's no pyramid. We're just all here,
and you're not white. You're just pale.
And, you know, our hair is just different.
Whiteness doesn't exist. Yeah. That's just a social strata invented for domination. So, I mean, if you're invested in domination, go for it.
But so you can make our kids feel bad at school. You know what I mean? It's like, this is what you're using. It's like, why is this important to you? Like, why is it this important?
No, we're making their kids feel bad at school by having to learn about what happened to black people.
Yeah, it's just too much.
So we're the ones making people feel bad.
Just showing up and
talking
about the stuff that happened to us. It's like, this is a problem.
Yeah.
So
But you know what? I will say John and Hank Green, nice white people. So thank you, nice white people who aren't doing this stuff.
Or who are piping up about it too.
Oh, and like Zach from Harder Brunch, which I do a guest spot on the Harder Brunch podcast, and then me and Moni, we went on a bike ride with them.
We did.
It's a whole adventure. You guys should tune in, and we're probably going to have little clips about it too.
Zach.
Very, very fun. But the people involved with them, those are nice white people, like Zach and Gwen.
So Zach, I am so sorry I curb stomped your hand. That was...
There was just a lot going on, and it's not as bad as it sounds. It was just an accidental oopsie, and Moni's a small person. She can only do so much. She's just one little person.
My bad.
Zach could take
My
it.
bad.
He's a cook.
Wow.
He's used to brutality.
Okay, well.
It's a tough job.
All right, well, you guys, I guess that's Stranger Than Fiction. And so is life. And I just want to encourage you guys to be involved in the stuff that makes you happy, because it is ghetto here. And, I'm just hanging on, man. Like, actually, I shouldn't say it like that. I have a great life, and I'm so grateful for this show. I'm grateful for you, friend. I'm grateful for all of our listeners. And hopefully you enjoyed the episode this week. Kat, do you have anything coming up or that you want to share with the peeps?
Yes, I'm, first and foremost, your body belongs to you, so have some fun with it. Also this Saturday we'll be at the Made Man Improv celebrating Moni's birthday. So if you want to,
Cash App me.
By the time this airs, it'll be, Cash App. Here's the Cash App for Moni's birthday. Show love. Also, what else is going on? I feel like I'm closing out. I feel like that's it for September.
Okay, I like it.
We'll be going into October, band book month. I'm excited. We'll be I don't know if you want to go. I'm going to Afro Ball.
When is it?
The 14th.
Do I have to have an
At
afro?
the Loom.
No. Okay. I must say I got to work on it.
It's just what it's called.
Teasing, I know.
But I think African prints are encouraged. I think that's what I'm going to be wearing, an Ankara print.
Oh, I love those.
Dress.
Oh, nice. I think I've got
And
some.
I love being at the Loom. I remember the first time we went to a Made Man show, we went to the Loom right before it.
Oh, yeah. We sure did. That was fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was. And I remember because the friends we went with, they couldn't come with us to the show because it was sold out.
Ooh.
So, yeah. That was like a bummer because it's like, nah, real talk, this shit sells out.
Okay. Yeah, there's only so many seats, guys. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like other events. Most events, you can get a ticket at the door. Not so much.
Oh, my goodness.
All you'll get is your feelings hurt.
All right. Well, that sounds like a great way to end the show, you guys. We're going to leave it right there, so we'll see you again next week. Peace.
Before we go, we must give thanks to Urban Nerd for providing our music, and legal services were handled by Trezanae M. Atkins. If you like what you heard, please feel free to join us every Wednesday for another fake-ass book club. Cheers.
Thank you guys for listening. You can check us out at thefabpodcast.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast wherever you're listening right now. We want to hear from you. Come put it in our life. Thanks again, and until next time, peace, love, and the Fake Ass Book Club. We out.